fast configure WLAN service. Okay, this configuration is on the web objective. Upon completion of the course, so you'll be able to use the web configuration WLAN service. So I'm going to start from our first content, WLAN data planning. So this topology will be similar as the yesterday, but right here is only require us to configure one SSID with the service VLAN 101. So right here, by giving two switches and one controller, one routers for the DHCP server. So what they're going to do here, the AC will function as the DHCP server for all the access point and also the STA. So this one we have to take note. All the IP address will be getting from the controller. Okay, now the IP address will be assigned for all the AP will be within the range here 10.1.100.2 and end with 254. Okay, the one is already actually will be going to use by the controller, so that's why the range will start from 2. And the next one for the STA, the IP address is 10.1.101.2 and end with .254. Okay, so this one is using the WLAN 101. The source interface will be used for the controller. We're going to select WLAN 100. So that means right now, the AP and also the controller is using the same WLAN. Alright, so this is belong to the layer 2 communication. So it should be very easy to doing the setup. Okay, now the next one, using the AP group 1. By default, if we never configure the AP group, it will going to put all the AP that we already register, it will put into the default AP group. Okay, because the Huawei controller is already have the default AP group. But when you want to do some the self-defined AP group, so that's why we're going to create this AP group 1. Then the VIP profile, we're going to using the name Huawei 1. Okay, anyway, this one is not the SSID, it's just the template name. The regulatory domain profile, okay, name we put domain 1. And then for this regulatory, the name is using domain 1, like just now I did mention. The country code. So if you want to doing some the testing in your country, you better set the country code according to your country. Okay, right now the example giving is follow the China country. Okay, so that's why they put CN right here. SSID. So this one will be the name will be broadcast out for all the device can able to view it. So the name will be the Huawei 1. For the security using security 1. Oh, this is just a profile name. And then for the authentication, if we're using the web open system authentication, that means no authentication at all. So for those who try to connect to this SSID, they can automatically associate directly after you click on the SSID. And last, VIP, virtual access point, it's just a template. So give the name for this template. Okay, like previous one, this I did mention, the Huawei 1. Okay, this one, this is the name for VIP. And then the forwarding mode. Right now we're going to use a direct forwarding. So the forwarding mode will be actually affecting the current the layer 2 topology that we deploy, like how we're going to configure the access link and also the trunk link. So mean only the management frame or the control frame you're using the CAPWAP planner return back to the controller. But the data packet, all the data sent by the user can go to the gateway directly, okay, without going back to the controller anymore. So this is called direct forwarding. Okay, now the service VLAN we're going to assign 101. So this 101 will be bind to the SSID later on. Okay, so the SSID is using Huawei number 1, and the security profile we're using security number 1. Basic service configuration. So right now is the configuration on the access switch, okay, which is the switch number 1 here, access switch. So we understand right now the service, the SSID, we're going to using the direct forwarding. So in the direct forwarding mode, you have to configure the port right here, or become the trunk link. Okay, like what I'm showing here. Trunk on the interface number 1 and interface number 2. Gigabit Ethernet 001, 002, trunk. Okay, this is port number 1. Right now I connected to the AP. So this AP belongs to what VLAN? So you have to change the PVID right here. Okay, the name here, the PVID, actually is similar to those the term called native VLAN. So I'm going to change the native VLAN become 100. The AP connected to this interface, you automatically assign the VLAN 100. Don't forget to put allow pass VLAN. We're going to allow the VLAN 100 and 101 to pass through. The VLAN 100 will be used by the management VLAN. Like those of the protocol, the control frame using between the AP and the controller. And the 101 will be used for our SSID. Okay, don't forget to do it on the port number 2. Now we will move forward to the aggregation switch, or we can call this is a distribution switch. So first step, enter to the system view, enable the VLAN with using the command VLAN batch 100 to 101. Trying to go to the interface, right here is using the port number 2, connect to the controller. Port number 3 will be connected to the access switch. So we configure these two as a trunk link and allow the VLAN 100 and 101 on both interface. Please make sure the controller is already assigning with the IP address, right? And then now you can enable the web configuration. So now you just input the IP address if you're already connected to your controller. Enter to your web and then try to look to the configuration here on the top. Okay, the configuration, and then go to the VLAN, because the controller also have to configure the VLAN in order to run all the VLAN 100 and 101. Right? So we just assume right now we want to configure the layer 2 VLAN and also the access link here. So in the VLAN, okay, batch create, because I want to add multiple VLAN. After I create I create on the batch create VLAN, so they'll come out another page here. So you just put the VLAN that you want to enable. So right now I just want to enable 2 VLAN, which is 100 and 101. Okay, now we have the fast configure AC. So the fast configure AC actually is similar to those the VZ configuration. Okay, they will show you the step by step, very simple. So now, and the configuration here, you notice on the top here, they will show you the fast config. So we're going to start from controller AC. So the AC right here, you need to understand which interface you're going to connect that to your aggregation switch. So right now I'm using the port number 1. Okay, right now the link is already up, available. So click on this. Okay, right now I want to configure the trunk. Okay, so after you click on the interface, now they'll bring you to another page here. Okay, they'll prompt this for you. So this is my interface G001. By default, my VLAN is 1. Okay, the native VLAN is always 1. So we try to don't change anything from here. What you need to do is just using the link type, swap to the trunk. And then for the type VLAN, I'm going to allow the VLAN 100 and also the VLAN 101. Okay, because this is a trunk link. Okay, once everything is done, click OK. Now you can see 100 and 101. So right now this kind of VLAN can actually pass through the trunk link here. Okay, right now my link type is trunk. Okay, now we click on the next. Then they'll turn the gray color become the green color. So that means right now the Ethernet interface we already covered. So now we'll move forward to the second step. At the second step, first you have to create the virtual interface, layer 3 interface. Okay, what I mean here. So create the new interface here. Create this. So after create, okay, you create on the create button. So now they will show you the interface here. So right now this interface you want to create what? You want to create a VLAN interface or the loopback interface. basically we create the interface VLAN more than the loopback. So you just select the VLAN interface. Okay, then go to the VLAN ID here. I'll go to touch on the VLAN 100. So I put VLAN 100. And then don't forget to put the IP address, because this one is the layer 3 interface. So my controller, we're going to use the VLAN 10. The IP address is 10.1.100.1 with the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay, press OK. Okay, again, create another new virtual interface. Okay, this one is for the 101. Okay, with the IP address 10.1.101.1. Okay, okay. Make sure just now the VLAN we configure is already appear on this wheel. Make sure the IP address is correct. Okay, because on the web it's totally different than the CRI. The CRI we still can using the command display IP interface brief to check the IP address and the interface. So on the web here, you have to go to the interface page here in order to check all the IP. Alright, so make sure it's correct. Okay, now we click next. Configure DHCP. If you still remember, the previous one they did order us to configure the controller become the DHCP server for the AP and also the SDA. So now I haven't have any DHCP enabled yet on my controller. So now I create. We're going to take this one. Okay, turn on the DHCP. So once we're on already, so we have two selections here. You can base on the global address pool. So this means you have to create one address pool. Okay, or you can using the interface. So depend which interface you're going to enable the DHCP, then you automatically using the interface IP address assign the IP to all the client. Okay, so this is pretty easy for configuration. The example here is using the interface address pool. We already select the interface address pool. You have to choose what interface you want to become the DHCP interface. Okay, click on this button. Okay, this one. ... Alright, open. So then they'll ask you to select which one you're going to use it for the DHCP. Okay, you can choose either one to configure. Then, okay. You only can select one by one. Now I select the VM100, then you appear here already. Okay, of course they will show you from here after you're doing the import. Okay, automatically. Then the vendor define. Okay, the sub option. The sub option you'll be mainly using on the layer 3. Okay, only when the controller and the APs belong to two different VLAN. So in this kind of configuration, right, you have to touch on the sub option. Okay, so this option you will be telling to your AP, right, how to search the controller. This one is your controller IP address. We already done just now the AP configuration. Then the next one, this is for the user. Okay, this is for the SDA SSID. After we complete all the configuration for the DHCP, now just to verify again, okay, before you create the next. So right now we already have two interface and enable the DHCP. Okay, after verify, next. Then close the final step, configure AC. So right now, for the AC source IP address, you have to choose what is the interface you will going to using it to connect it to all your AP. So right now, I want to use my interface VLAN 100 to connect it to all my AP. Okay, I don't want to use it a loopback or IP address. I prefer using the interface here. Okay, so after I using the interface VLAN, okay, now you have to select which interface. After I create the VLAN 100, select OK. So they'll add inside here. Okay, then the next one, don't forget to select authentication. By default, the Huawei system you choose MAC address authentication. So when you want to add the AP into your controller, I mean you want to register. Alright, so you have to know what is the MAC address belong to your AP. So you have to input it one by one, or you can add as a batch. For easy configuration, on the layer 2, you want to simplify the registration for the AP. So you can use the non-authentication. So as long as the AP and the AC can actually ping via the layer 2 network, So they'll automatically do the registration. This one, after choose the authentication, now we create next. So you can choose to manual add, or you're doing the batch import. So right now I want to add, because in the topology just now, they are only showing one AP. So you have to go back to your AP there and try to check what's the MAC address that you're currently using. Okay, so put your MAC address here. Okay, the ID. So by default, they will start from 0. But of course, we can always modify it. Okay, if you don't like the number 0, you can put 1, 10, 20. Okay, the AP type. So when you select the AP type, you must base on what kind of the product that you're using right now. Okay, don't assign the wrong AP type, or else the AP can't able to form the CAPWAP with your controller. Okay, understand the model is also very important. For the serial number here, you can be skipped. Okay, don't worry, because just now the authentication, right? We're using MAC authentication, so you don't need to using the serial number here. Okay, you can just skip, leave it empty, and then press OK. Okay, now we already almost done everything. Okay, then click next. Then the final one, you're going to ask you to confirm your setting. So right now you can just confirm everything that you already done previously. Okay, click on the tab on the top here, Ethernet interface. You can check on your interface WLAN, DHCP, and also the AC setting. Okay, so if they have no error, you can just straight away click finish. So once you click the finish, the controller will start to run the AC configuration. Okay, now if you want to check the AP status in the CLI, in the command line, you can use display AP all. Alright, this one is on the CLI. On the web, it doesn't need to do that. You just click on the monitoring on the top here will do. It's going to show you right now got how many AP is already successful associated with your controller. Like example right here. When they already have the AP successful to form the connection, so they will show you the name of the AP. Okay, right now, for all the AP, if we never change that, what's the AP group they belong to, they always put inside the default. Okay, this one is a default group. Then don't worry, later on we can change the group into another. Okay, the status right now is normal. So right now the connection is perfectly fine, no problem. CPU usage, memory. Okay, then how many SDA is already accessed? So the last one configuration is showing the way to configure on the AP. We are returning back to the configuration. On the configuration, if you still remember, on the left, they have so many the selection there. The first one will show the fast config. And then under the fast config, they have the AC, AP, and the SDA. Now we click on the AP. Okay, here's the link configuration, fast config, AP. Okay, fast config, AP. Okay, now I want to create the new AP group. Okay, I create the new AP group, and then right here you can put any name you want. Alright, you just put AP-group 1. Click OK. Now we create the new AP group. And the next one, you can also select the service setting. Okay, on the service setting here, remember what is your the country group. Okay, then the next one, select a desired AP group in the AP group list and click the service setting tab. So right now in the service setting here, okay, just as I did mention, remember to select your own country code. Apply. Okay, we're doing this one first. Okay, so by default here, you notice we have two different groups. By default, we already have the default. After we create the new AP group, it will appear right here below. So this is a group we want to use. I'm not going to touch on the default anymore. So I go to the AP group here, AP group 1, change the country code become the my own country code, apply. Then the next one, below here they have the SSID setting. So now this is the place we configure the SSID. Click the create. So I want to create the SSID. So remember what's the name they want to put. So right now the example is using the Huawei-1. The forwarding mode be using direct. For the service VLAN, we can using single VLAN or the VLAN pool. Okay, so one SSID can belong to one VLAN or multiple VLAN. So the concept here is they're using the single VLAN. Okay, it's not the VLAN pool. Because the VLAN pool is just in case when we already fully realize all the IP address within the same VLAN. So we can try to using the VLAN pool to solve the problem. You can using 2 different VLAN or 3 different VLAN assigned to the same SSID. Okay, it's possible. Okay, for more information how to using the VLAN pool in the controller here, you can try to visit on the Huawei site and download the headx. Okay, they will have some information there. Service VLAN. Okay, this service VLAN is belong to the VLAN 101. Okay, remember Huawei-1 is belong to 101. Okay, then the next one, the radio. So the radio I'm going to use all. So this SSID will be broadcast in the 2.4 and also the 5 GHz. With the WLAN ID, okay, we're just using a default. Okay, basically we don't change this ID. Then for the security setting, so based on what kind of the wireless security policy that we want to use, on the security setting, we will be going to configure the open security policy. Mean it's no authentication. Okay, we're going to select this one. You just pull down, select the no. For the authentication, is no authentication, and then click OK. After we configure, we already create the SSID. So the next step is it will ask you going to the fast config AP. In the AP group list, this one. Okay, select the AP group to which you want to add the AP, then click the AP list tab. So we click on the AP dash group, and then okay, just now we go to the service settings. The service setting is allow us to configure the SSID. Okay, now we click on the second one, AP list. What AP will belong to this group? So for this configuration, we also can base on how many floors that we have. Like this building can belong to the one company, so they have total of 4 floors. So we can create 4 different groups, like AP group for the floor 1, AP group floor 2, floor 3, and the floor number 4. So all the AP they have a different configuration. Right? We can actually do it by this way, but right now this example is just using one AP group to make simplify to the configuration. So right here we only have one AP access. Okay, now I want to do the simple one. I select existing AP because previously we already registered one AP to our controller. So just click this one, click on this, and then select OK. You notice previously this one is belong to the default. Okay, for every AP, right, after they already associate with the controller, by default they'll put into the AP group default. So now we want to take out this AP number 2 from the default. Okay, now click this one and then OK. They can check on the signal already. Once everything is already done, so we can open the SDA. So you can using your laptop try to scan the surrounding. So see whether you can able to get the SSID Huawei-1. For more detail, you can just click on the detail. Then the last here is check the configuration. So just go back to the monitoring and then click on the user statistics. So here we will show you all the user currently connected to the AP. So they'll know right now they have this user. Okay, this is a username, his MAC address, which AP he connected to also can notice here. Okay, he right now connected to the AP number 1. Okay, this is the IP address and many other the status, the channel usage, and also behind here. Okay, so can't able to see. Okay, so this is a summary. WLAN data planning, basic service configuration, fast configure AC. So we can using this feature to fast configure our AC. And the last one is fast config AP.